Richard Scarry's best Christmas book ever. Written and illustrated by Richard Scarry. Christmas is coming. Busy Town is getting ready for Christmas. The firemen are stringing lights on the buildings. The stores are crowded with shoppers. Everyone is busy. Look, there's Big Hilda, Hucklecat, and his sister Sally on a big sleigh. Lowly Worm is pulling it with his apple tractor. Now where are they going? They are going to get a Christmas tree. Farmer Pig has many beautiful pine trees on his farm. Maybe he will give them one. When he hears how they are going to use the tree, Farmer Pig is happy to help. Huckle and Sally are too little to cut the tree, but they are big enough to gather pine branches for wreaths and decorations. Big Hilda chops down the tree. It is the biggest tree on the farm. Here it comes! Timber! They all help to put the tree on the sleigh. Come and see the tree when we get it trimmed, says Huckle. I'll try, says Farmer Pig, who is snowed in. Lowly drives the sleigh back to town. They put the tree up in the town square and decorate it with lights and ornaments. Lowly puts a star on the top. Everyone comes to admire the tree, even Farmer Pig. Now Busy Town is really ready for Christmas. Dr. Bones is good all year round. All year round, Dr. Bones is busy calling on his sick patients. Sometimes it is very hard for him to make his house calls. In the winter, his car often gets stuck in the snow. When the streets are icy, he must drive carefully to avoid an accident. Look out, Dr. Bones! Your car is skidding on the ice. Sometimes in the spring it rains so hard that the streets become flooded. Then his car stops dead. Surprise, Dr. Bones, that puddle is too deep to drive through. Often he gets stuck in the mud. It is hard to work and very messy to push the car out. But Dr. Bone never gives up. His sick patients appreciate how hard he works for them. We will remember you at Christmas, they all tell him. Mrs. Cat does not complain about the bumpy ride to the hospital. She is thankful that the good Dr. Bones can take her there. Look out for the curve, Doctor! Too late. His car goes over the guardrail and falls into the sea, but Captain Pig saves him. When Christmas comes, and guess what? His patients all remember to remember him. They give him a brand new helicopter. Now he will have no problem visiting them. Merry Christmas, Dr. Bones, the Flying Doctor. Grouchy Mr. Gronkle. Mr. Gronkle is a grouch. He grumbles and growls at everybody. But he grumbles most of all at children. Children? What are they good for anyway? He mumbles to himself. When he sees a child, he snarls. Get out of my way, kid. Mr. Gronkle is very rich. He lives in a big house with a pond at the front. In the winter, he could skate on his frozen pond, but he doesn't. Mr. Gronkle doesn't believe in having fun. And he doesn't believe in having friends. He lives alone in that big old house. Why, he won't even let someone come in to help him clean his house. It looks like a pigsty. One fine day just before Christmas, Lowly Worm suggests that they all go ice skating on Mr. Gronkle's pond. We should ask for his permission first, says Hucklecat. Oh, I'm sure Mr. Gronkle won't mind, says Lowly. But Mr. Gronkle does mind. He is furious. He runs down the frozen pond swinging with his walking stick. He runs onto the ice. Look out, Lowly! Oops! Mr. Gronkle slips. Crack! Right through the ice he goes and into the freezing water. Help me! Save me! He cries. He tries to climb out, but the ice cracks more. He can't get out by himself. At first the children feel that it serves nasty Mr. Gronkle right, but they even begin to feel sorry for him. Soon he'll freeze to death in the cold water, says Huckle. We must help him. Don't leave me to die, shouts Mr. Gronkle when he sees the children running off. But they are not leaving him. They're going to find a ladder. Huckle puts the ladder on the ice. Lowly winds himself like a rope around Mr. Gronkle's nose. What are those terrible children doing? Wonders Mr. Gronkle. Then they all pull on Lowly. Slowly, they pull Mr. Gronkle out of the water and onto the ice. "You're the best rope ever, Lowly," says Huckle. "Now I know what children are good for," says Mr. Gronkle. "They're good for saving cranky, grouchy Mr. Gronkle." Mr. Gronkle promises to change his nasty ways. He starts by having a wonderful Christmas party for all the children. He has such a good time that he decides to turn his house into a play center. Now cranky, grouchy Mr. Gronkle is called cheerful, friendly Mr. G. He's always busy seeing that the children have a good time at his house. Merry Christmas, Mr. Gronkle. Postman Pig and Aunt Kitty. Postman Pig is busier than ever at Christmas time. There's so many Christmas cards and presents to deliver. Today he has a letter for old Aunt Kitty. That pleases him because Aunt Kitty lives alone and has no friends. Aunt Kitty is pleased to get the letter too. "Oh, do come on and have a cup of hot chocolate while I read my letter," she says. Aunt Kitty reads the letter and bursts into tears. "Oh, boo-hoo-hoo," she cries. "My niece won't be able to visit me at Christmas. I will be all alone." Postman Pig starts to cry too. "Boo-hoo-hoo." Going back to the post office, Postman Pig meets Lily and tells him about Aunt Kitty's sad news. They both cry. "We must do something for her," says Lily. Then Lily tells Huckle Cat about lonely Aunt Kitty, and Huckle tells his mother. "Boo-hoo-hoo," she cries. Mother Cat tells Ma Pig. "Oh, isn't that a shame?" they say. Ma Pig tells Sergeant Murphy. Even the brave sergeant cries. "Boo-hoo-hoo." Soon everyone in Busytown hears the sad story of Aunt Kitty. And soon everyone is extra busy, sewing, baking, and making things. Then on Christmas morning, who do you think comes to visit Aunt Kitty? Everyone in Busytown, and each with a wonderful present. Aunt Kitty is so happy to see that she has so many friends after all. Trouble at Santa's workshop. In Santa's workshop, there are hundreds of elves who work, work, work all day long making toys for Santa to bring at Christmas. Some of the elves want to work all night too, but Santa won't let them. "You need a good night's sleep to work well the next day," he tells them, and they can't disobey Santa, even if they would like to, because he locks all the tools up at night. Then one morning, Santa discovers that he has lost the key to his tool cupboard. Santa and Mrs. Claus look everywhere for the key, but they can't find it. "I know," says Santa. "I'll call my good friend Lowly Worm and ask him to bring me some keys that might fit." Lowly is happy to help, if he can. Lowly goes to the locksmith and gets big keys and little keys, thick keys and thin keys. Then he gets into his apple copter and flies to the North Pole, where Santa and his elves are waiting for him. Santa takes Lowly to the locked tool cupboard door. "One of these keys will surely fit," says Lowly. He tries one. It doesn't work. He tries another, and another, and another, but none of the keys that Lowly has will fit the lock. "This is terrible," sighs Lowly. "If I can't open this lock, there will be no toys for Christmas." He puts his eye right up to the keyhole and looks inside. Then suddenly he has an idea. He takes off his shoe, then he takes off his sock, and he wiggles his bare foot around. He puts his foot in the keyhole and twists and turns his toe. Click goes the lock. Lowly Key smiles. "I opened it." The elves rush to get their tools and hurry back to their workbenches. There will be toys for Christmas after all. Hurrah! "May I make a toy too, before I leave?" Lowly asks Santa. "Please do," says Santa. "We need all we can make." Then Santa thanks him for all his help, and Lowly hops into his apple copter and flies safely home. Maybe one of the toys you get for Christmas will be the very one that Lowly made. Big Hilda Helps Santa. It is the night before Christmas, and Santa is on his way to bring presents to boys and girls all over the world. Here he is over Busytown. His first stop will be at Sergeant Murphy's house. Santa has some very nice toys for little Bridget Murphy. Crash! Santa's sleigh lands too hard, and one of the runners breaks. "What's all that noise up on my roof?" asks sleepy Sergeant Murphy. Sergeant Murphy climbs onto the roof. He is very surprised to see Santa with his broken sleigh. "You're in real trouble now, Santa. I don't know how to repair your sleigh, but I will get Mr. Fix-It." Sergeant Murphy jumps on his motorcycle and hurries to Mr. Fix-It's house. He pounds on the door. A sleepy Mr. Fix-It comes out, and off they go to fix Santa's sleigh. But Mr. Fix-It is still half asleep, and clumsily breaks the other runner. Santa is furious. "Now look what you've done," he shouts. "What's all that noise about?" calls Big Hilda from her house. Sergeant Murphy tells her, and she says, "I'll be right over." So Big Hilda plows through the snow, carrying her skis. "Here, Santa," she says, "you can fix your sleigh with these skis." Mr. Fix-It offers to nail the skis to the sleigh. "No thanks," says Santa. "I will do it myself." Now Santa can deliver the rest of his presents. And what do you suppose Big Hilda finds in her stocking on Christmas morning? A new pair of skis. The best Christmas present ever. On Christmas Eve, Pickles and Penny Pig hang up their stockings by the fireplace. It is cozy inside, but outside it's snowing hard. "I do hope this blizzard won't keep Santa from visiting us," says Penny. They leave a plate of cookies and a cup of hot chocolate for Santa. Then off to bed they go to dream about what Santa will bring them. Daddy, Mommy, and Auntie Rose stay up. Auntie Rose has come to visit for a few days, and they have a lot of things to talk about. Later, Daddy puts on his cap and coat and goes out to the garage. He shovels a path through the deep snow to the street. Now, why is he doing that at this time of night? Look, Mommy's in the car with Daddy. They must be crazy going for a ride on such a snowy night. Oh no, they are stuck in a snowdrift. But a tow truck with a snowplow comes to their rescue. In the morning, Pickles and Penny rush in to see what Santa has brought them. Pickles got a drum, a sled, skis, a paint box, a fire engine, and some good storybooks. Penny got a doll's house, a fire engine just like her brother's, ice skates, and some books about dinosaurs. Auntie Rose got 10 bottles of perfume and 2 handkerchiefs. Daddy got a new shaving brush and 10 ties. However, will he decide which one to wear first? Then Pickles and Penny ask about Mommy. What did she get? And where is she? Mommy had to go downtown last night to get her a present. It is a very special Christmas present, says Daddy, who is happy as can be. Get your hats and coats, and let's go and see what she got. They drive downtown and stop at the busy town hospital. Guess who they will see inside the hospital? There is Mommy with a little newborn baby called Nicholas. Now isn't that the best Christmas present ever for the whole family? Mr. Frumble helps out. Who is that dressed like Santa? Why, it's Mr. Frumble. He is invited to the cat family's house for Christmas dinner, and he wants to thank them in his own special way. Huckle, Sally, and Lowly are playing by the fireplace. Suddenly they hear a noise. Then some black soot falls from the chimney. Can Santa be coming again? "Help, I'm stuck!" cries a voice. It is coming from the chimney. Father Cat jumps up and rushes to the fireplace. He reaches up the chimney and they all help to pull. Out pops a very sooty Mr. Frumble. "Merry Christmas, ho, ho, ho," says Santa Frumble. First, he brushes the dirty soot off his suit. It falls on the nice clean rug. Then he offers to help with dinner. He runs toward the kitchen and right into the Christmas tree. Crash! The tree falls over, and Huckle and Lowly have to set it back up again. Mr. Frumble decides to bake a cake, but he spills the mixture all over the floor. The potatoes he is cooking explode all over the kitchen, and the turkey he is roasting burns up. Smoke pours all over the house, and firemen have to be called in. "Thank you, Mr. Frumble, but I really don't need your help," says Mother Cat. "I'll just mop up this water," says Mr. Frumble. He swings the mop so hard that he breaks a table leg. Everything crashes to the floor. Mother Cat will never finish making dinner with him around. She gently pushes Mr. Frumble toward the door, but he trips and crashes into the refrigerator. Now there's another big mess on the floor. At last Mother Cat is alone in her kitchen. She cleans up everything and then makes a wonderful Christmas dinner. The children carry the food to the table. She won't let Mr. Frumble carry anything. The dinner is delicious and everyone enjoys it. Until Butterfingers Mr. Frumble drops the gravy boat and knocks over a big pitcher of grape juice. Now Mother Cat's beautiful tablecloth is bright purple. And it's time for dessert. And Mr. Frumble has a very special dessert surprise for the cat family and their guests. It's a huge cherry pie. He goes to the kitchen to get it. Here he comes now. Just look at the size of that pie. It is so big that Mr. Frumble has to balance it on his head. My, it's going to taste so good. He walks very slowly and very carefully. Oh, watch your step, Mr. Frumble. There's a toy on the floor. Oh, no. You guessed it. Well, this is certainly the messiest Merry Christmas ever, but everyone seems to be having a cherry good time. What shall we give Grandma for Christmas? Huggles, Sally, and Mother Cat want to get Grandma a nice Christmas present, but everything costs too much or is the wrong color or size. Then they see Lowly, and he tells them how to make the best Christmas present ever for Grandma and Grandpa, or anyone. It's a pomander, and here's how you make it. Get a nice big apple and a jar of cloves. Stick the cloves into the apple until it's completely covered with cloves. Then tie a pretty red ribbon around the apple, and you have a sweet-smelling pomander. Grandma can put it in her clothes drawer or wardrobe, and it will smell sweet and spicy for many Christmases. A visit to Grandma's house. On Christmas morning, Father Cat opens the front door and discovers that it has snowed very hard during the night. I hope we can get to Grandma's house today, he says. He shovels a path in the deep snow from the garage to the street. My, that's hard work. They start on their way but run into a big snowdrift. Now they are stuck. Farmer Pig and Little Bug Dozer come to pull them out. But they get stuck too. Mr. Fix-It comes in his tow truck. Guess what? He gets stuck. Now everyone is stuck. Along comes Lowly with his apple copter and sleigh. And off they go to Grandma's house singing jingle bells all the way. Grandma's happy to see them. Look how pleased she is with her pomander apples. Now her clothes will smell lovely all year long. It's such a nice present and from such nice grandchildren. The Bad Twins. Once there were twins named Abe and Babe who were so bad that everyone called them Double Trouble. They were really horrible. They liked to argue and fight and push people in the mud. They always shouted and rudely interrupted other people. They thought it was fun to break things that didn't belong to them. At the playground, they took toys away from little children. They ate with their fingers and made a mess of everything. Their table manners were terrible. Even their mother had to agree that if there was anything bad, rude, or nasty that could be done, they would do it. Santa does not bring nice presents to bad boys and girls. Instead, he fills their stockings with dirty lumps of coal. So on Christmas morning, Abe and Babe got a big surprise. 2 huge sacks of coal were all that Santa brought them. That's how bad they were. Abe and Babe were very sad. They knew that Santa was punishing them for being so bad. We must learn to be good, they said to each other. Outside, everyone was playing with their new sleds. Abe and Babe sadly watched them. I wish we had a sled, said Abe. And I wish we had some electricity, said Sergeant Murphy. The snowstorm broke the electrical lines, and without electricity, there are going to be a lot of cold houses and uncooked Christmas dinners. Abe and Babe felt sorry for all the people whose Christmas day would be spoiled. This is our chance to be good, Abe said to Babe. They told Sergeant Murphy their plan. That's a splendid idea, he said. Sergeant Murphy called the children together and told them to take their sleds to the twins' house. Not on your life, said the children. Those twins are double trouble. But Sergeant Murphy assured them that everything would be all right. When the children got to the twins' house, Abe and Babe dragged their big sacks of coal outside. Then they filled a paper bag with coal for each child. The children gave the coal to their families to burn in picnic grills. That Christmas, all the dinners in Busytown were cooked on picnic grills. The dinners were delicious, and the grills gave off enough heat to keep the houses warm until the electricity came back on. Santa always leaves a few extra toys at the fire station to give to children he might have missed. So when Santa heard about Abe and Babe's good deed, he called the fire chief right away and told him to see that Abe and Babe got some really nice Christmas presents. From that day on, the bad twins became good twins. And every Christmas after that, the twins received a tiny piece of coal in their stockings to remind them of their good deed on that cold Christmas day.